Number 7, Mickey Foley 0105 says, I've been confused about what type of talk is considered gossip. I don't want to be doing it, but sometimes it's hard for me to tell if it's gossip or not. How do I tell what it is and what is and isn't gossip? That's a challenge. Proverbs tells us that gossip is like a talebearer. It's like giving people tasty morsels. It's interesting the phrase it uses. I wonder if I could bring that verse up for us. How do you spell morsels? Here it is. Here's the verse. I'm using my Bible software and I found it. All right. The words of a whisperer are like delicious morsels. They go down to the inner parts of the body. Proverbs takes wisdom to understand. And I think the wisdom here is to say, when you hear the whispers implying these are things that you wouldn't say openly in front of everybody, that might be a clue that it might be gossip, is that I have to whisper, or I'm saying it privately, I'm looking at it secretly because I wouldn't want other people to know, that might be a clue that it's gossip. So it's just called the words of a whisperer. They're like delicious morsels. In other words, it's enjoyable, it's pleasurable, and it goes to your inner parts, which means it comes inside of you and affects you and impacts you. You aren't unimpacted when you listen to gossip. It's wrong to give it, and it's wrong even to listen to it. Now, we live in a world where social media, it seems, has radically magnified the problem of gossip. Like, I should do a video on this sometime. A lot, like I keep going through, like if I'm on Facebook or something and I see all these videos about this Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and I think this is gossip at this, like why? It has nothing to do with me. And so they're all being recommended, these videos. Apparently everybody's watching them because it's recommending them to me. And I'm like, why am I getting this recommend? Like, this to me is gossip. Like, if you're watching someone else's trial for no benefit or no reason, no real needful reason of your own, but merely because it's a tasty morsel, then that's probably gossip. So how much of what we're doing is gossip? Like, isn't The Bachelor, the show that I haven't ever watched and won't watch, I know enough about it to know that, isn't it just literally a gossip show? Or the Real Housewives of something or other, aren't those just gossip shows? Like, that's all they are, is an inner look at somebody's weird, like, gossipy life that just produces, so people can become celebrities because they produce massive amounts of gossip around themselves, and people enjoy that like tasty morsels. So I feel like we are numb to the issue of gossip, and this is why I would encourage you, Mickey. I don't know if you are personally, maybe you're not, maybe you're super sensitive. As a culture, we're very, very numb to gossip. So I would say we need to dial up our sensitivity, most likely. And if you're like, is this gossip? I would lean more towards thinking maybe it is, just because we're so numb in our culture. You say you don't want to be gossiping, but sometimes it's hard to tell if it's gossip or not. If you're not sure, it's okay to hold your tongue. Proverbs talks about it. James talks about it. When you're not sure, it's okay just to not say something. It's funny how, even in my own life, I remember being real young, and most of us remember this probably in our teens, feeling like when you had something to say, you like had to say it. Like it's burning within you. Like, oh, like I've had people come up to me and do this to me multiple times. Mike, there's a joke, but it's kind of bad. I probably shouldn't say it. All right, so there's this guy, and he goes up to this, and you're like, it's kind of bad, and you shouldn't say it, but here you go. Because there's this like internal, like, I have to say this thing. Godly Christian character can be tested often by the words that come out of our mouths. And so when in doubt, just don't say anything. How's that? How's that for a nice rule for you? A good rule for myself to be reminded of as well, because I like our culture. I know I've been affected by this. I know I've been kind of numbed on the topic of gossip, and I've been thinking about it recently, how some of these issues, many Christians know we've been numbed on the topic of abortion. I don't know that they realize how much we've been numbed on the topic of gossip, for instance. So I feel like it's something we should be addressing.